The Chicago Bears have fallen in love. You want to know who it? Keep it locked. What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to an all new episode of CHI Go Bears. As always, it's your boy John Jay, and with me once again is my dog D Snow from the Go. What's going on, Cuzzo?
Hey man, it's almost the weekend. Weather's starting to peak and look a little better. We're starting to get a little, into the spring of things. And like we say every day when we come, get on the show, the Bears are cracking. They got something going on. They are talking about something. They're adding things. They're just making us fall in love with the Bears again. This is what we always wanted. So I'm excited to see what's going on. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, I'm always happy when some draft news comes about. I done
Oh, for
said it a
sure.
million times. It's the
Your
best
your
time of the
favorite
year.
time of the year.
So yeah, ladies
Favorite
and
time of the
gentlemen, we
year.
got we got that draft news. And before we get into it, help your boys out, man. Show us
Yes,
some love.
sir.
Drop a like, share, and subscribe to this thing if you haven't already.
Please
Because
do.
this is
Please
the
do.
place to be.
It
Plus, ladies and
is.
gentlemen, as a new channel, we gotta have a minimum in order to go live. And we trying to hit that minimum so we can go
Yes, sir. We're
live
trying.
for the
We need
draft and
y'all help
kick it
though.
with y'all. So
Yeah.
come on, show us some love. Tell your friends, look, this is the hangout for the draft. So go on sign up, sub.
Yes, sir.
But moving right along, yeah, D Snow, we got a lot of draft talk today. So I figured let's go on here and chop it up with the peoples.
Let's open up
Um,
some cans.
yeah, man, yeah. So we're gonna get right into it. As always, you know, we ain't gonna waste your time and take too long. But one thing before I get into, because I got being divine, the tweets was flying today. They was going crazy. But before we get into that, a lot of people are talking about this Mel Kiper mock draft 4.0.
Mm,
D Snow.
yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I'm saying that.
my man had a nice little haul for Chicago. He
We
had
love it.
he had Tyler Warren at 10, that tight end that we've been talking about so much. Then he
Hmm.
came back around at pick 39 and gave us Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out
Mm,
of Ole Miss, who is a beast. I'm all for that.
yeah.
And then at 41, smack him over the head one time with that running back, Travion Henderson out of
Mm,
Ohio State. And I'm gonna be
yeah.
honest
Yeah.
with you, I don't talk about Henderson a lot on this channel because of the fit. The expectation is the Bears are looking for the bruising running back,
Hmm.
and that's not Henderson. Henderson is closer to the Gibbs role. And
Okay.
if I'm being totally honest, Henderson is my second favorite running back in this draft. You know, aside from fit and style and all of that, Henderson is my
Hmm.
number two guy. Now his
Okay.
numbers aren't anywhere close to some of these other guys because he was in a split backfield with Quinshawn Judkins, someone else who I mentioned a lot.
Hmm.
Um, but again, the reason I mentioned Judkins more is because he's more of that bruising running back, more of a compliment to DeAndre Swift. Travion Henderson is not a compliment to DeAndre Swift. He is a replacement for DeAndre Swift.
Mm, mm.
So that kind of changes things a little bit. But they know I'm a huge fan of Travion Henderson. That man is a home run waiting to happen. Big play guy. He didn't carry as much, like I said, because he had a split backfield, but he averaged 7 yards a carry.
Okay.
I mean, that's what Genty averaged. And
Mm.
then when you come to the receptions, the guy got hands. He got hands for days. This is a guy that will catch the ball. This is your Jameer Gibbs guy. Now he's
Okay.
not as fast as Jameer Gibbs, but he's just a little bit behind. I think Gibbs ran a 4.37 at his
Okay.
combine, and Henderson went 4.43. And I actually think he's a little bit faster than that. So, but yeah, that's the type of guy that you would be getting in Henderson. But what do you
Okay.
think about those three names that Mel Kiper gave us, D Snow?
I mean, as we talked about in the chat during the day, I mean, that's the dream scenario. I mean, if we can grab the best tight end that's in the draft, a guy that would fit the scheme, fit perfect on the other side from Komet. And I mean, it would be exactly what we want in that. And then to get that, like you said, if he's going to replace Swift, it is what it is. I mean, like I talked about last show, hey, Ben Johnson's going to bring his team onto the field. It's not going to be about what was there, what was promised, what you've been paid, what your contract says. This is Ben Johnson's team now. So he's going to field the team that he wants. So if he thinks Travion is going to be that home run guy for us that can give us what we need, especially being under that rookie contract for a few years, let's go get him. And then of course as we move on, we know we got to continue to work on the trenches. So everything that they're talking about, we love it. This is what we want to see, and I would love to see that. I mean, like I remember if you watched the first show when we first started this, I didn't really know that much about Warren, and I had to do my homework. I had to go out there and see who this guy was, and I was shocked and blown away, and said, "Oh man, this guy can be a ultra back, not just a tight end, but we can throw him in the backfield. He can block. He can do a lot. He can catch. He got hands. And I like Travion. I mean, he's from Ohio State, another Big Ten guy. We do nothing but praise the Big Ten on this channel. So if
Absolutely.
you're Big Ten fans, you're gonna love us because that's what we do here. So hey, I mean, he played for a national championship team at that. So that's what I talked about last show. We are bringing in winners, man. We're not bringing in just anybody that maybe and might pop one day. We're bringing in guys that have already been showing that this is what they do, and they're gonna bring that same winning attitude to our Chicago Bears.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, so you mentioned about doing a little homework on names. I'm gonna give you a name today that you could do a little homework on, and same goes for you guys that's watching at home if you're not familiar with this name. But if by chance Tyler Warren is not the guy, if he's not around when you pick or you go a different route, another name to watch that's gonna fall to second, maybe even round three, because his combine was so. But out of Bowling Green, Harold Fannin Jr.
Mm. Harold Fannin Jr.
Harold Fannin Jr. Fanin. So he's a little smaller. He's not the big Gronk type of guy. He's more of your Evan Ingram. He's about 6'3", 240. But this guy's like Debo Samuel with the ball in his hands. He had over 100 receptions for over 1,500 yards at the tight end spot last year, Snow. Harold Fannin Jr. is somebody to watch. This is a gadget
He's
guy that you
young
can
though,
also.
man.
Yeah,
He's only 20 years old though, so
that's
that's
fine.
this is a grown man's league,
That's a
man.
lot to work with. You got a lot to work with.
This is a
A lot
grown
of
man's
tools.
league. They're gonna try to push him around at that position, so you got to be tough and So you think he
Well,
can bring him from the tape you watch?
not every tight end in the league is physical nowadays. There are a lot of
That's true.
receiving tight ends that do a little bit more, and we got that maniacal head coach now in Ben Johnson. You remember
Yeah.
you made the mention about keeping those beakers full.
Yeah,
And
the mad scientist.
this is the type of guy that a mad scientist like Ben Johnson can play with, because you can bring him out of
Okay.
the backfield, you can run him in the slot, you can do all kinds of things with him. And you still have Cole Kmet, who is your physical your physical tight end that can handle a lot more of the blocking duties. But Harold Fannin Jr., that's another name that's a potential get later in the draft.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. I'm gonna learn you a little something. So y'all look
I
up
love
Harold
it, man.
Fannin Jr. Y'all
Put
let me
me
know
on,
y'all
man.
thoughts on him.
You put me on Warren, so now you just put me on Fannin Jr.
Yes,
What
sir.
a name!
Yes,
You can't
sir.
don't forget it.
You will enjoy those highlights. Watch that
Okay.
highlight reel. You will enjoy it. But moving on, we had another name that was added to our top 30 visits list. D Snow, another guy to the shy, and this is defensive end out of Texas A&M. Texas A&M Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart is a name that we've talked about quite a bit. All of the athletic traits, the size, speed, everything is Myles Garrett-esque. Big problem is, though, D Snow, zero production. This guy can get to the quarterback, but then he got the slippery hands. He falling out. He can't bring him down. So there's a lot of people kind of up in arms about that idea. The Chicago fans don't want Stewart, at least not at 10. Now, if you fall back in the draft and go later on, maybe in the 20s or something, that might be a name for you.
Okay.
But Shamar Stewart, D Snow, any thoughts on that?
I mean, 21 years old, 6'6", 290. He's a big kid.
Hoss.
I mean, like you said before, I mean, if he can fit the scheme and we can figure out how to get him to be a little bit more tougher with those hands, let's make it happen. And that's not a guy that's going to go really high. That's a guy that we can look at that might fall. So I mean, hey,
Maybe.
we both know,
People
huh? What
fall
you
in
say?
love with people sometimes fall in love with traits. So you would think he should go low,
Hey,
but there's surprises every year.
I mean, that's a big kid though, so somebody's going to feel like they need him on their team. We'll see. And I mean, and where are they slating him to maybe go right now?
I mean, I've seen anywhere from 8 to 20 something.
Mm.
I'm hoping he goes 8 because that'll push somebody down.
Right, 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 right. And that's what we're thinking is going to happen. I don't know if it's smokescreen from Vegas saying that hey, they don't feel like they need a running back right now. Like everything that we're doing, I'm starting to see other teams doing now too, because that's what everybody did. The closer you get to the draft, we're going to hear even more outlandish stories. Oh, we're looking at a quarterback and they already got their quarterback of the future. I mean, they're going to be trying to do anything to try to maneuver and push people around to try to make decisions get made. People are trying to move up, people trying to move down. So I'm just excited to see exactly what's going to happen because it seems like, Poles knows what he's doing. And it seems like, he's playing chess, not checkers.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you made a mention of the Raiders. I was good time to talk about that. I was gonna bring that up next. But yeah,
Okay.
another tweet from Ben Devine. It actually came from Albert Breer quote.
Okay.
But he thinks that the Raiders would likely pass on Ashton Genty.
Mm.
His words: "I don't know if the Raiders right now are in a position to draft a running back that high." And honestly, I agree. I think they have a lot more holes than to pick a running back that high.
You got to
Problem
be tough.
is, everyone knows Pete Carroll loves to run the ball, so that's why the Ashton Genty mock started. We started seeing him mock there. But I agree with Albert Breer on here. I feel like they still have quite a few needs, and there's a lot of good corners available in that spot. Your Will Johnson, your Jade Barron. Uh,
And I think they're going to do. I think they are going to go defense because they already have a cornerstone in Crosby. They we all know that Pete Carroll loves to have a good defense. That's one of the things he preaches and he has to have. So I think he is going to start to try to build on that defense. They went on ahead and threw that money at their quarterback and locked him up. They're going to go ahead and make some moves here and there, but I think they're going to be going like you say, probably cornerback, and then they're going to be looking for a running back. I mean, a wide receiver.
and I'm
Because they got a couple of guys that's not bad, but they need some guys that Gino could throw it to as well.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I still wouldn't sleep on the idea of them bringing in a quarterback. I
Mm,
mean, it's not
mm.
likely or ideal because you paid Gino,
Yeah, that's
but
a
we saw
lot of
it.
money
We
you gave Gino.
we just saw it last year.
That's
Literally the
true.
same scenario
That,
with
hey,
Atlanta.
and you know what? That was crazy. Because of the fact that at the end of the season, now he's starting, and now all of a sudden, Cousins is on his way out the door, even though they just gave him all that money. So I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe they are just throwing a smoke screen too, because I mean, we're seeing that they're talking about that Shador is going to drop to like 7 or 8, 9. I mean, they'll be right in that position, but I could even see them trading. Depending on what happens, they'll trade back if Shador drops that far.
And,
If somebody's really thirsty for somebody that's a little closer.
but not only that, and this is an argument for them taking him at 6, is you got new owners in there.
Hmm.
And one thing a new ownership likes to do is make a splash. Get
Yeah,
a move that's gonna get people talking, get some interest,
yeah,
intrigue in your team, sell
yeah.
some
You bring
jerseys.
Shador in.
You know
You
who gonna
bring in
sell some
Shador.
jerseys?
Yeah,
Shador
yeah,
Sanders.
yeah. He'll be like Bronny's doing in the NBA. Even if he don't play, his jerseys are going to sell. People are going to come to the games. We know how expensive it is to go to a game in Vegas, so they got to put butts in the seats. And you bring the Sanders squad over there, and they've been talking Raiders for how long? So that's why I think it's funny
You
that
know
now all of a
Brady's
sudden,
there. That's the big homie for the kid.
I mean, and they were talking. This is where they want to go. It seemed like the Raiders were interested during the season. Every time they lost, you see Shador, making a little post on X, and so that might be something that's already in the making. That's already a handshake as long as he's there. And I don't think the Giants are going to take him. I think he'll be gone. I mean, if I think it's crazy what the
You think
Giants
he'll
did,
be
giving
gone
all that money to
before?
cool
You think he'll be
quarterbacks.
gone before the Giants, or you mean the Raiders?
No, so who picks first, the Giants or the Raiders?
The Giants. Giants got number
I
3.
thought so. So they were talking about him, but I think they're going to pass on him. I don't think they are.
Oh,
I
so
don't think they're gonna get
okay.
him.
So you said you think he'll be gone with the Giants. So you mean you think the Giants will pass him? Okay,
Yeah, I think they'll
gotcha.
pass on him, and I think he'll fall to the Raiders. And I mean, they've already put it out there. We saw it. It was kind of like Eli Manning, but not Eli Manning. He didn't threaten anybody, but we know that they want him to go to a nice ball club. They don't want him to go to a piece of crap that's basically already a ball of shit. They don't want that. They want him to go somewhere where they got good coaching, where everything is going to fit in place. And I think no matter what, New York, because of the where you are, you're in New York, you're always going to do something in a city like New York or LA, Chicago. As long as you're there, there's endorsements, there's everything that comes with being there, to be a big star. But I think because they don't want to go there, I don't think they're going to play that game. Why even do that? Why
But
go
see, I
there?
think they really want New York. I think New York is one of his
Mm.
favorite spots. I think
Oh
he's got a
wow.
big
Okay.
love for New York.
Okay. Okay.
Dayball is a good quarterback coach. The city is perfect for Shadur's personality. He is a
Yeah.
fit
True.
there. And then
True.
you got
True.
a young stud in Malik Neighbors to throw to.
Yeah.
Um,
You just lined that up. If
see,
they did, I mean, and
here's
they sat there and bought in two quarterbacks. I mean, are they both there to be? I mean, at the end of the day, right? They could just cut them both before the season even started if they wanted to. There's not a lot of money
or
on the
you could
table.
run with all three. Those guys are pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, that
They're
they did
not big
sign for a
money
little money.
guys.
Oh man,
Um,
they might be grabbing Shador
here's one thing.
unless the Raiders offer them they lunch.
One thing that I've noticed over the years
Hmm.
is the closer you get to the drafts, you start seeing a lot of wild mocks.
Hmm.
But that's not how the draft usually goes. The draft usually goes closer to the mocks from a month ago, 2 months ago, closer to when the season was going. This is, what do we call it? Lying season. So now
Yeah.
they act like they cold on these guys just
Oh, we don't want
so they
them. We're
don't
not
go.
interested.
We
Yeah,
see it. We
it's
see it a
happening.
lot. We see it a lot. Oh, they're not interested in this guy. Oh, but guess what? Michael Penix didn't fall. Michael Penix still went number 8, like he was
Right.
originally projected back before
Y'all better listen to
free
John
agency.
Jay. Hey, he over here preaching right now. Come on, man. Come
No,
on, man.
we've seen these movies before. Do you
We
know?
have. We have.
So I mean,
So don't be fooled.
the gents he loved, all of a sudden now he's marked to 6. Now it's possible. It is possible. I don't
Mhm.
want to totally discredit it, but the movement started during the offseason. Before the season ends, these teams are already looking at these players. They know who they want. They're just using the combine and all of this stuff to dot I's and cross T's, to know
Okay.
personalities and all. They have an
Hmm.
idea of who they want
Okay.
months ago. I truly believe that. So they're not too much. They're not learning too much new now. They're just, how is he with teammates and stuff like that. They know who the kid is. They're at these games throughout the entirety of the season. You know
And
how
you know
many
what just
times
hit
I
me
seen
too?
Ryan Poles at a Michigan and Ohio State
That's
game?
true. That's true. And what I was gonna say is, I wonder who they're gonna choose to do that. Um, remember they did not the end season, but the off season. Like, and that New York really crashed and burned
They
on that.
might not. No one might not want to do it after that. They might say, you know what? Fuck that. To hell with it now. Throw it away.
Everybody that asked, they're
Throw it
like,
away.
we're good.
To see
No, we're
the
good.
Giants
No, we're
that off
good.
season, that hard knocks off
Hey,
season with the
hey,
Giants.
hey, if the Bears jump on that, it'll be fun to watch. It'll be
It
fun to
would,
watch.
but I
But it's
feel
just
like
uncomfortable.
the
It is
Giants
uncomfortable.
scared everybody. They like, no, 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 no. They ain't finna pick apart
Y'all
what we
made it.
talk about
Y'all
the
made
whole
our
year.
owner look bad. Our GM look bad. Our coach looked like he was in shambles. Like that. That was tough. That was tough to
For
watch. That hit
real.
me when you talked about all that. I'm like, ooh. Now with all these decisions we talking about being made and all of this, maneuvering. Because remember, I mean, he was doing that. He was talking a lot of stuff, and oh no, this is not gonna happen. And oh, I mean, Saquon's not gonna run for 2,000 yards, and he was saying all of that stuff, and everything he said
Came
came to
true.
pass.
I wonder did he ever
Everything
get
that
a
he
night's
said
sleep.
won't happen.
I wonder did he
Oh,
ever
come
get
on,
some
man.
sleep.
His son told him, Dad, we should get Jalen Daniels.
Now, to their credit for that one, they actually
Yeah,
tried. They tried to get Jaden Daniels.
yeah, they did.
Washington was
We saw
not
that,
moving.
and we saw
Washington was
why.
like,
And during the season, we saw exactly why. Shout out to
Facts.
Daniels, rookie of the year. Yes, sir.
Facts. So moving along. Some more from my man in Divine. Another tweet. Check this out. The Bears love Ashton Genty, according to scouts around the league at NFL Draft Scout. Also, Chicago views defensive tackle as a bigger need than defensive end and could be considering a trade up from number 39. So think about that possibility. What they're saying is maybe if somebody a D tackle falls in the first round and someone there that they like, they might consider packaging 39, maybe 41 or 72 to move up back into the first round and get a second guy in the first round. What do you think about that, D Snow?
Hey, y'all know me. Hey, hey, shout out to Lil Durk, Free Smirkio. I'm all about the trenches, man. I love the trenches. That's the one spot that we have been lacking at on both sides of the ball. We've been getting pushed around for years. We finally started to look a little bit better, the last couple of seasons on defense, but our offense has been, a disgrace to watch. It's been tough to watch and see our quarterbacks be the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. So, to see us addressing the trenches and talking about continuously addressing the trenches, bringing in guys that are not only monsters, but we talking about guys that can step right up and start playing right away. So, yes, if it's worth it and it's there, I really truly believe, just like we've seen in the past, Poles has showed us he don't mind jumping around, and we know that Ben Johnson is all about trying to put that team out there he wants. Hey, like man, it's the 10th. We have what is it, the 23rd draft?
10/39. Oh, the date the 24th.
Yeah,
24th through 26th.
24th.
Exactly 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. So this is why it's starting to boil. We're starting to hear this and that. We're hearing, and y'all already know I love Genty. I think he's a great running back. I think he'd really, really offset what we already have at running back, and we'd have that 1-2 punch. But also, he'd be a great feature back to do exactly what we need to do, and he's ready to play right now. And like you said in that, Bijan, like you said in that Gibbs type of format. He's that type of guy that can get out here and get loose. And I'd love to see that. So, hey, like I said, I think I said it in the chat. If we get Genty or Warren, and then the rest of everything falls in place like we want it, our offense is going to be potent, and we're going to be ready to go. We're going to be ready to go. So I'm excited. I'm loving the rumors. Whatever happens, let the cards fall where they may.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, since you love Genty so much, and I do too, but last thing I'm going to mention, another tweet was a question, and I said, you know what, this is a good question for the show. So I'm asking you, and I'm asking you that's watching at home. So I want to see your answers in the comments. But check this out: if either Mason Graham or Ashton Genty were to be there at pick 8, that's the Carolina pick, would you trade with the Panthers and give up 10 along with next year's third to move up?
Well, I know that you are a fan of Mason Graham. You talked about him. He'd fit well with what we're trying to do. He'd be that um, that new monster. I love it. It's like everybody we're looking at. We're not looking at guys from out west. We're not looking at guys. Everybody.
One thing Ryan Poles said that they're looking for is toughness, and we're seeing that with these names.
Yes, sir. And all of that toughness is in the Big Ten, man. you know, all of that toughness is in the Big Ten. I know we looked at the guy that's in Bowling Green, but he's a wild card that is, really showing up on a lot of people's, sheets that are looking at drafting. But man, if we can pull that off and get a guy like him that can come in and be that guy on the man, that would be nasty to bring him in. I'm not gonna lie. We're giving up the future, but you never know what the future holds. If you could bring in a guy like that is going to buy in and probably already is a lover of the Bears. You know how that goes. A lot of these Big Ten guys are looking to come to one of these major squads like us. So I think it'd be great if we can do that and only have to give up something next year. I do want to go offense. I would love to get Warren or Genty, but man, that defense. I talk about it all the time. We need that defense to be real.
And
In the division we play in, you got to have a great defense.
I'm also a huge fan of Mason Graham's teammate, his line mate, the defensive tackle that played next to him, Kenneth Grant. He's from Maryville, Indiana, so that's close to the crib. So he would be you talk about somebody who would love to play for the Bears, that would be him. And
Sir.
he is a mauler. He is already a top tier run defender with the potential to be a really good pass rusher too. But he can walk in today and be a top tier run stopper.
Yeah, yeah.
So I definitely love that. So I've mentioned plenty of times that I wouldn't want to trade up this year, but there's a caveat with that. I don't want to give up any of this year's second round picks, 39 and 40, because that's where the depth is, 39 and 41. But if we're talking about moving a third or next year, I'm a little bit more game for that. That hits a little bit different, D Snow. But it's the 39 and 41 I don't want to come up off of. Now, if we move in 39 to move up, okay. If we could hold on to 41. I don't want to package both of them to move up because the value.
That's our Travion pick.
Or a tackle, left tackle. There's all kinds of things that we can get with that. There's some money out there.
I think the draft is going to look kind of like last year. Like you said, they talking all this stuff. Once them quarterbacks start going, it's going to push everybody back. And then we going to eat. We going to eat well, Chicago Bear fans. Get excited.
Yeah, no doubt. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, like I said, get down in those comments, show us some love, tell us your thoughts on these projections, and what would you do? And also, again, show us some love. Hit that like, share this thing, tell your peoples about us. Go knock on your neighbors though. Hey, y'all check these dudes out. Man, they talking. So help us out. Subscribe to this thing, and come and join us for this live draft watch along. But D Snow, you got anything for the peoples before we get on up out of here?
Hey, we want y'all to be part of our family. We're going to call it the Panami. The podcast family. I threw that together real quick in the top of my mouth. Yeah, man.
It's a working title.
Yeah. Because I don't pander and I don't. But no, man. I'm just excited about, in 2 weeks, this draft is going to kick off. I'm excited for what's coming in the next days. And hopefully we keep getting news so we can keep bringing it to y'all. And thank y'all for tuning in, man. Keep coming back. Please comment, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we definitely love the love that y'all been showing us, and we're going to keep going and keep improving. But as always, from us here at CHI Go Bears, ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all. And we'll holler.
Peace out, y'all. Stay dangerous, Chicago.
Sirski, bear down, Chicago. Peace.